Thank you for tuning in to another episode of New England Horror Files podcast. Tonight, we're going to be jumping into some Boston history and folklore. I
Dun
love
dun
it.
dun.
I love it. We were just it kind of just came about. Me and Mary were just we mentioned Boston in a couple episodes back, and then we were just like, oh, why don't we do a haunted Boston episode? I'm like, we could get so much, and like we just kind of haven't even done. I mean, some
Yeah,
cursory research, but not anything deep. And we found, we have several things here, so it's pretty interesting.
there's actually too many things.
It really is. Yeah, this could easily be a multi-part episode. I think like
And we,
we'll kind of see what we get and like how much we have. We could kind of cut it up into two if we need to, or we could continue on later if there's more we need to talk about because there really is. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of history. This is the first one of the first colonies. This is where like it all started.
no, literally,
Yeah.
Boston is like one of the oldest, cities of. I want to be careful with my wording here, but
Of
it's
yore, certainly of yore.
yeah, it's definitely been several hundred years. Boston in America, the city of Boston has been going for quite a while. Um, I think I came across this one story that I found to be really fascinating that I want us I'm thinking we could cover it just a little bit in depth. Um and then just go on to just some real quick. It's funny cuz we made fun of the Boston accent the other day when we
Yes,
were recording about
actually, we do that
well,
a lot.
yeah, so as we're going through figuring out what we're going to talk about for this episode, we're like, "Well, what about the Charlesgate? Eh, what about Danvers Mental Asylum? Well, what about like we're doing the same thing about, like they do in that and that we were making fun of ourselves, but truly Boston really does have so much folklore, so much history, and so many haunted places apparently. So let's get into it. Where are
Yeah,
we
what I
going
thought was really
first?
cool was the Fort Warren on George Island.
Mm-hmm.
This legend is just it just jumps out at me. I'm just like this is just so bizarre, and it's also just so apparently a lot of people have had encounters. But the backstory is Fort Warren was used during the Civil War as a Confederate prison, as well as they used it as like a barracks and a training ground. They kept kind of like high-ranking military personnel. It was strategic to keep them away from the land, and they could keep important prisoners over there as well. So um, so this is just off. I don't have I don't know the exact location, just off like in the harbor, Boston Harbor, just off the mainland there. So, um,
Yeah, it's right in the harbor there.
oh yeah, wicked.
Oh, wicked. And you could actually take a ferry to Fort Warren, I notice. If you look on the map, there's like a ferry that goes right to it.
Yeah, you can visit there today, and a lot of people have seen an apparition, have seen the woman in black, and
Mm-hmm.
it's said to be the wife of a Confederate soldier who was imprisoned there, and she was trying to break him out to try to help him escape, and I guess it just it all like at the 11th hour just went completely off the rails. She ends up shooting him. He gets killed, and I think she's then taken prisoner.
Well,
Uh,
right.
or
So this
or I
is,
forget if she was killed then or she was taken prisoner and died subsequently, sometime later. Um,
yeah. So her name is or was Melanie Lanier. Her husband was in prison at the fort. He was a Confederate soldier, as you said. Um, so she, I guess, eventually finds out where he is. And then she's like, I'm going to break him out of prison, which, I mean, I guess even in the 1860s, I can't imagine that was just an easy thing to do, especially on an island in the harbor. So I
no,
guess she makes like so Fort Warren as an aside, if you ever and I know this because we've done this. It's actually one of our favorite things to do is to go all the way up through Nantasket and into Hull, and there's a point where you can sit and you can see like all of the Boston Harbor Islands and like the Boston skyline in the distance, and it's like a like less congested, freeway to just get a view of the Boston Harbor. But Fort Warren is like right near Hull, where you can see, there's the top of Hull. There's the whole life saving museum up there. So, but the thing is, like, you're still in the Boston Harbor. I can't imagine, like, what is she like row the boat? You know what I mean? Like through the harbor. Like it's just crazy. So anyway,
Yeah,
um,
like the
right?
logistics. I'm just like, I don't know how far it is. I mean, like to get from the mainland out there, you'd have to take some sort of boat. So you'd have to be
Oh,
either
definitely.
stealing a boat and going out there yourself, or like you know stowing away on a boat that's already going out there.
Right.
I
So I
don't know.
mean, it's definitely doable, but it's still like I'm not sure the distance, but it's a good row.
Yeah, that's a
And
feat.
this,
That's like that's a
yeah,
that's a that's a job right there. That's a
she was
project.
serious. I guess
Yeah.
she was serious about getting him out of there. So fine, all right. I commend her, trying to get him out. I get it. So this is from we actually got a good story from bostonghosts.com, and they talk about on the night of the planned escape, she boarded a small rowboat along with a pistol and a handful of rope. She also brought with her a pickaxe, which she planned to use to dig him and a couple of other prisoners to freedom. Quietly, she approached the prison, her sentence heightened, her heart pounding. She hit the land, unaware that this would be the last day of her life. So she
Oh,
waits for the cover of darkness.
so
She
she
gets
did
the
die.
signal. What's that?
I said she. So she did die that night. Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was in prison. She was taken prisoner, or she just died.
No, so ultimately, she dresses as a man. She she got the rope over the wall of the fort, which is crazy. I wonder if they have less security because they're on an island and they're like nobody's coming out here. Because this is crazy. So she
Yeah,
reunites.
probably. They're not expecting it at the very least.
No, I mean probably not. I mean, but I would think they would have some lookouts, like some sentries, like this woman breached the wall. Like, come on, that's I don't know. Anyway, so I guess they tried to tunnel their way out. Um, I guess their digging caught the attention of the guards, which I guess nothing else was catching the attention of the guards, but whatever. Um, so she eventually finds herself. She's got the pistol. She brandishes the pistol to protect herself and her husband. The guard lunges at her. She fires, but instead of hitting the guard, she hits her husband. So he dies. Then she gets arrested and she's sentenced to death by hanging for treason. And then I guess they
Uh,
send her to the gallows. She asks, so she's dressed as a man and she wants to be dressed as a woman for death. And so they dress her in black. I guess that they had some sort of a black gown. And that's how she died. She was hung, excuse me, and she died all in black. So she's then, buried on the island. And it seems that ever since she died and was buried, people have been seeing her on the island and around Fort Warren. So I guess there's tons of sightings of her. The lady in black, they call her. She's got the dark black gown on. She appears to be wandering aimlessly, but she's also seen standing on the wall of the fort. Uh, I guess she chases soldiers away from the fort, and I guess just generally haunting the fort. Now I want to see if there's any. So, hauntedplaces.org has just a little blip about Fort Warren. Fort Warren, a pentagonal structure of stone and granite, was completed near the beginning of the Civil War and was decommissioned in 1947. It was named after Revolutionary War hero Dr. Joseph Warren, who sent Paul Revere on his well known ride. The fort is haunted by a ghostly lady in black, whom witnesses say is the wife of Lieutenant Andrew Lanier, who was imprisoned here during the Civil War. The distraught woman, desperate to see her husband and help him to escape, crept onto the island dressed in man's clothes. They were caught, her husband was shot, and she was sentenced to be hanged. She asked that she be allowed to wear women's clothing for her hanging and was given a black dress that had been used in a soldier's play. Her ghost has been spotted on the island and is sometimes heard screaming and moaning. All right, so the soldiers can do plays, but they can't guard the damn wall. Okay, fine. Interestingly, there's no comments on.
They're busy.
They're busy. We
They're
was
busy
doing
rehearsing
stuff.
the play.
Like, this is my dream to be an actor, not a soldier.
The guard's like, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my love."
Oh my god! Oh my god! The walls have been breached.
Escape.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, Glover.
Shoot. All right. So, yeah, it just seems like there's more. Let's see what else. I mean, they have her story a lot, but I want to see what else.
Yeah,
We've
it's just
got
so it's so tragic, though. You know,
yeah, it really is. Like
to
imagine
get
like
that far, and
I
then
know, just
yeah,
to die. I mean, yeah. And that's I got it. That's some balls, that's definitely some balls to do that. I mean, not only balls, but physical strength, right? Like to row across from one island to the other in a rowboat. Like, I mean,
yeah,
shit,
goodness, yeah,
so
it's crazy. But yeah, apparently there's been tons of sightings. Tons of people have heard her, seen her.
yeah, yeah, they say
So
like,
haunted Boston, baby.
haunted Boston. Let me just say this, that there are 1,001 um ghost tours in Boston if you need a tour. I
Oh
was
yeah,
shocked by how many ghost tours. I had no idea. I'm not going to name them
that's
all
something
off,
I'd
but
I'd
like,
love. That's something I'd love to do sometime. But just like getting to Boston logistically is such a pain in the
oh
ass. That
god,
like, there's a lot to do there, though. There's lots of cool
right?
stuff to
There
do.
is.
Don't
I
get
mean,
me wrong.
Boston, it is, but
Yeah,
you're right,
a
and
lot of
we
stuff going
talk
on.
about
A lot of
this.
cool stuff going on. But
Yeah,
yeah. Anyone listening? You want ghost tours? Boston?
Boston. Boston is the place
Also,
to be.
like to be fair, Providence and Newport, they also kind of, pull some weight there. Those are some
Oh
very cool
yeah,
places to go if you want to go see like a ghost tour type thing.
Newport. I know Newport definitely does. I didn't know about Providence actually, but that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
They go to
just,
like the H.P. Lovecraft house and
oh
all.
shit. Oh, can you get a tour of that? Holy crap.
I haven't actually. I'm not quite sure. I haven't personally done it. It's just like one of the. I mean, it's one of the main things is Lovecraft. So,
Mm, yeah, true.
but
Jeez, Fort Warren. Yeah, so I guess that place is wicked haunted. Um,
wicked.
I should go check that out. We should make that a thing. There's other islands you can go to. Obviously, there is a ferry of some kind out there. Um, yeah, have you ever been to Fort Warren? If you have and you have any experiences, let us know. All right, next. What's next?
Um, I want to kind of we got to mention the Charlesgate. I mean, there's a lot of haunted hotels, like allegedly. We're not making
Mm-hmm.
we're not making any claims. This is just what people
Allegedly.
say. We're not taking anything as fact.
Right,
Okay,
right.
just so everyone knows. Okay,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, but
alleged.
all right.
It is
So
alleged, Your Honor.
allegedly, you hit a cop. You're going in. All right. So you can't get haunted Boston without talking about the Charles Gate, and apparently it's like the place to be haunted. So there's a lot of coverage of the Charles Gate, and I wonder. Let's check out. Oh my gosh, I've got all these tabs open. It's ridiculous. Um,
Get
What do you know?
organized, man.
I know it's just whatever.
I'm trying to sift through tabs my damn self.
It's what do you know about the Charles Gate? Because you actually, we know that we were reading once from New England Folklore. Our friend Peter at New England Folklore, he did a thing about it.
Yeah, he had a little article. I mean, I think we had recorded something with the intention of doing a video about that, but didn't finish it or for some reason.
Yeah, that was
But
in the very
there's
early
just
days.
a lot of things like so it was built in 1901, luxury hotel in downtown Boston. What area was that in? I'm not really actually that familiar with Boston. I'm not a fucking tour guide. I just talk about
We are not the tour guides.
it. um,
There's a bunch, but not we are not them. All right, so
so it had like a apartment slash hotel rooms and rumored to be involved with the mafia. It was of apparently the play the site of like a few hits and that sort of thing and like people
oh
deaths and
shit.
murders um and I don't know. There's more. Like I'm kind of let's see
Well,
here.
we've got Boston's Back Bay, 1901. Um, I guess you're right. There were lots of occurrences there, and eventually it started to become haunted. Um, I guess there's one story of a card game that went wrong. There, a group of dudes are doing this heated poker thing, and it, I guess, ends with a fatal shooting. And I guess people say that they can still hear the echoes of like the sound of like the argument, the cards, the gunshot, and then that like just keeps repeating. Apparently,
No shit.
allegedly.
That's nuts. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
right. Imagine hearing. Now, I will say, just real quick, I went to a haunted place that had it's Gettysburg, spoiler alert, and we heard battle
It's
sounds.
Gettysburg.
It's Gettysburg. Just we're just gonna it sucks that Gettysburg is not in New England because I really want to tell that story. One day I will, but we heard battle sounds. It was the craziest freaking thing on the planet. Slightly related, but not totally. So anyway, all right. Apparently, there was a young woman who took her own life. You know, my the guy left me, and I can't live anymore. I'm offing myself. So I guess that's a one of the hauntings there. Um, Now it used to be the hotel, and now it's private residence. But I guess these, you know, the tales keep going. I actually want to see. Let me see.
Yes.
Let me see. Hold on. I actually want to look up. There we are. This is the New England folklore story. NewEnglandFolklore.blogspot.com. Peter Muse. We had him on the show several episodes ago, and he is a wonderful storyteller. He does a lot of good research. He
Yes,
has,
he and he does.
yeah, he's pretty awesome. So he has a an article about the Charles Gate, and let's see what Peter says. All right. Designed by John Pickering Putnam, a prominent local architect. The hotel is located at the corner of Beacon Street and Charlesgate East. He loved the building so much that he moved in with his family, and then he died there on February 27th, 1917, at the age of 60. Um,
That's an interesting interesting life. So what's the word? I don't know. The architect died
right.
in the building that he designs. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it's like the captain going down with the ship sort of thing. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, it
in
is.
a
Yeah.
weird way. Yeah, yeah. No, that's interesting. Actually, I did not know that. I guess according to Peter, there's a legend that claims it was suicide, but he really died of natural causes, like realistically. Um, he Peter says this. Still, esotericists of a certain bent will notice that he died on the 23rd, making his death an example of the 23 enigma. The idea that the number 23 is considered strange, somewhat sinister, and connected to unusual phenomena. So maybe Putnam's death date was a precursor to the weirdness that was to come. So that's interesting. So it operated as a hotel until 1947. Then it was sold to Boston University as a dorm. In 1981, it was then sold to Emerson College, which used it as a dorm until 1995. And it was during those 14 years, from 1981 to 1995, that the Charlesgate acquired its reputation as one of the most haunted buildings in Boston. Here are a few of the ghostly legends from that time. Isn't that funny though? You always see colleges and college dorms are like haunted, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it college dorms or is it, like is it just the area? There's a lot of history there. Is it
That's
I don't
true.
know. In Boston
There's
particularly, like Boston, I feel like Boston's kind of considered one of the top haunted spots in the country. Not just in New England, but in the country.
mm,
But
oh
I
yeah, definitely.
if you
Because
want to
it's
feel
so
like
Boston. Boston is so like in the okay. If you look at America in being when it became a settled country that we know of it now as it is now, right? Understanding that it was settled for thousands of years before the English came over here. Let's just throw that out there. But as we know it, as a the Declaration of Independence forward, right? There's like 400, 500 years of activity there. And so there was a lot that happened. I mean, we have the Boston the Revolutionary War, we have King Philip's War, we have all of those things happened around Boston. We've got the Salem witch trials, we got all the other witch trials, we got all the other vampire trials, we got all of the other crazy ass stupid crazy shit that people were doing. You know what I mean? Like, and Boston is like it was a port for in the beginning. You had New York and Jamestown. You had all the other places too, but like Boston was a major and still is a major port. Like the Portland went out of Boston. You know what I mean? Like you've had years of like decades and centuries of freaking crazy ass weather and deaths from hurricanes and you know what I mean? Like so
yeah,
Boston is just it just is, and I don't even know. We look back on I think about, Miles Standish and Pexuit, and like that happened close to Boston. When he tricked the native leader into talking to him and then killed him with his own knife. I mean, that's the kind of shit that's been happening. You know what I mean? Like, and then not to mention all the modern day shit. I mean, what other craziness has happened in Boston, right? So yeah, it's just I think it's imbued with that whatever, Civil War forts and shit. Like, gosh.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But yeah,
Mhm.
so I mean, that's the Charlesgate. I mean, what was that other one? The Omni State Hotel. Was that the one?
Oh, the Omni. Yeah. So the Omni, where'd you go?
Omni Parker House Hotel.
Yeah, I always say it wrong because it's got like four different names in the thing. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? And I just had it because okay, so um I love hauntedplaces.org because there's often comments. But what's interesting is that there are almost no comments on any of these Boston places,
Okay.
except for we have a couple on the Omni. So let's do it. There's not many. I'm like, what the people get on to haunted places and start commenting. God, it's a historic hotel built in Boston, 1855. The current hotel structure dates to 1927. Located at the corner of School Street and Tremont, not far from the seat of the Massachusetts state government, the hotel has long been a rendezvous for politicians. No wonder it's shady. Okay.
Oh, I wonder what they're
Let's.
doing there. Hmm.
What you doing there? Uh,
Uh,
Omni Parker House.
the
Oh,
Oregon
if you
Public
look at.
request for an audit. You know who you have. Know who you have.
um. Oh. The Omni Parker House is a member of Historic Hotels of America. It's on the list of National Register of Historic Places. So it didn't always start off as psychotically huge, but it became psychotically huge. Like
Hmm.
right now, it's like how many stories is that? One, two, three, four, five, six. It's like 15 stories, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, so like they were continually adding on to it, and back in the is that it? It's hard to tell. Like there's a picture of it from 1866, but it's hard to tell exactly and then there's one from 2025, so I can't exactly tell which bill. Oh, oh, I see. Yeah, okay, so they have started off very very small. Okay. Um the hotel was home to the Saturday Club, which met on the fourth Saturday of every month except during July, August, and September. Among the Saturday Club's 19th century members were poet, essayist, and preeminent transcendentalist Ralph Waldo. Ralph,
Whoa.
what's going on?
One word at a time
What?
here.
One more time. Ralph Waldo Emerson, poet and the Atlantic Monthly editor James Russell Lowell, novelist Nathaniel Hawthorne, poets John Greenleaf Whittier and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, diplomat Charles Francis Adams, historian Francis Parkman, philosopher, educator, abolitionist Amos Bronson Alcott, and the sage about town Dr. Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. Interesting. So it started off as like this gathering place. Oh, actor John Wilkes Booth stayed at the hotel April 5th through 6th, 1865, 8 days
No
before
kidding.
assassinating Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln. He
Wow.
apparently he was apparently in Boston to see his brother, actor Edwin Booth, while he was performing there. While in Boston, Booth was seen practicing at a firing range near the Parker House. Oh my gosh. Geez, did Boston like make him crazy? Okay. It was the Boston traffic that just made him go nuts and assassinate Lincoln. Okay.
I tell you, it's that fucking tunnel.
Is that tunnel? Yeah, so that's some of the history. I'm just scrolling through. Okay. Hold on.
Oh,
This
whoa, whoa.
restaurant,
What we
no,
got?
no, listen, this is important.
What
This
do we got?
restaurant is famous for the invention of multiple iconic foods. The Boston cream pie was
Mm,
first created in the Parker House restaurant kitchen. What? I didn't know that. That's interesting.
really?
But yeah, Boston cream pie. Yep. In 1856, Parker hired the gourmet French chef Augustine Anazine to run Parker's restaurant for an annual salary of 5,000. Anazine's salary was astonishingly high for the time, considering most cooks in Boston made approximately $416 annually. With Anazine as the head chef, the restaurant quickly became an upscale culinary destination for Boston elite. A typical menu from the chef could include mock turtle soup, boiled turkey and oyster sauce, ham and champagne, and much more. Do you really put oyster sauce on turkey though? I mean, is that a thing? I mean, I'm not a culinary, masterpiece or anything, but that's interesting. The original recipe. Oh wait, in 1856, Anazine reportedly invented the Boston cream pie, originally called chocolate cream pie or Parker House chocolate cream pie. The original recipe had more distinctly French details like rum glaze brushed onto the cake layers and slivered
Ooh,
almonds around the side. Oh, hey
oh
there.
my God, I want one.
Right?
It's
You probably
amazing.
get get in my belly. You can easily. Oh shoot. Okay. Um interestingly too, um a lot of things a lot of people think that the Stephen King's short story from 1999, 1408,
Okay.
about a writer who experiences a haunted stay at a New York hotel called the Dolphin, was based on room 303 of the Parker House and the supernatural events surrounding the room. King's personal assistant says that is not true. So I guess it's widely, rumored that that's what it's based on, but
I feel like his personal assistant gets paid to say that stuff, though.
right, they're like,
Be
no,
honest. Come
he
on,
has an
think about it. It's a conspiracy.
he has an NDA with the Omni House Parker Hotel, Omni Parker House, whatever it is.
Yeah. No, they made a movie about that. But
No shit.
interesting, yeah. And there's
So yes,
I'm looking through here. This is another one that's interesting is the Cutler Majestic Theater, right? This is like this really elegant, fancy um, theater with balcony seating and um, you know looks like fucking gold leaf on the walls and shit. I don't know, but
wait, the,
fancy, right?
what
But
is that? The Cutler.
yeah, people have seen like apparently people see people like sitting off up watching like performances from the balcony, and they see like a little girl that roams the halls. They apparently they'll leave gifts for her, and the gifts they'll disappear.
Interesting. Where's the thing I just saw
Ooh.
on under the Cutler on hauntedplaces.org? First, it says built in 1903, the historic theater is said to be haunted by a former mayor of Boston who died during a performance,
Mm-hmm.
a little girl, and a married couple wearing turn of the 20th century clothing. And the comment below is Dan, just Dan, used to work here. If I had a dime for every patron who reported seeing a man dressed in a suit and hat in the balcony lobby, I'd be a rich man. Though the deceased mayor theory has been debunked, a fairly quick Google/Wikipedia session will show you no mayor has ever died at the Majestic. There is supposedly a little girl whom coworkers have heard whispering, "Hello," sounding lost. There is also an opera
Whoa.
singer who has been heard singing an aria from the stage, only to have the sound suddenly stop when you get close. Could you imagine hearing that? Opera, ghostly, like Phantom Opera. Phantom of the Opera. Oh,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
no for me.
It's a no. It's just a no. Oh, Boston. Boston, you're so haunted. The old South Meeting House. Well, of course it's haunted. It's the old meeting house. Um,
It's the
Old
meeting
South
house
Meeting.
in the bloody American Revolution that happened.
No shit. Well, it was known as the organizing point for the Boston Tea Party. I guess people see, spectral figures roaming the aisles in the pulpit. Maybe spirits of the old revolutionaries. Um, Eerie sensation, sudden chills, the feeling of being watched. Yeah, where is this old meeting house? One of Boston's most venerable landmarks, King's Chapel Burying Ground. Let's look up that. I just need a little. I want to get out of this AI article because it's like
Fucking trash.
I freaking hate it. Like I hate AI so much. Like it's got its uses, but then it's also like, eh. All right. So
I
yeah,
think
let's
it's
just.
demonic. I think it's
Yeah,
demonic. First I was kind of like,
it,
oh, let's see what it's all about. Now I'm just like, you know what? I'm not using this. I don't need
yeah.
it.
I really don't like it. It's like I really just don't like it.
So I was
Um,
something. I was trying to generate an image for one of the thumbnails or something for the channel using uh, Copilot or one of those, and
hmm,
I just kept asking it. It was like it generated the image, but there were like flaws with it. So I just kind of kept refining the search, refining the prompts, whatever. Um, and then it's just like after so many tries, it's just like it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to help you with this. My circuits are blown. Would you like some help with something else? I was like, no, I want help with this. It's like, I'm sorry,
Well,
I can't help you. I've overextended. And so it's like something like that. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, you have no, you don't, it doesn't work that way. This isn't
no, you're a the fuck. Yeah,
weird.
that's just freaking crazy.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Take all
I'm
that
all set with
bullshit.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so our last stop for the evening comes to the King's Chapel Burying Ground. Um, Another one on Tremont Street on the corner of Beacon and Tremont. What's up with Tremont? Anyways, so this is like the first cemetery in Boston, 1630s. This was established, and like, there's a lot of like famous people here, including John. Well, if you're into New England history, John Winthrop and Francis Brinley. I had no idea that Francis Brinley was buried here. Francis Brinley is actually a big name from Newport in pre-colonial Newport. John Winthrop was the um, governor of Massachusetts. So I'm just going through this humongous article here. There's so much here. Um, September 1630. So they named, oh, interesting. They named that the Shawmut Peninsula, which is Boston. It would be named Boston after Boston, Lincolnshire, in England. I never knew that. Ralph Waldo Emerson's father, William Winthrop's grandfather, John and Elizabeth Payne, whose headstone, inscribed with the lone letter A, is believed to have inspired the Scarlet Letter. That's interesting. One spirit that you may encounter is the headless African American woman. Her body was desecrated post mortem when her coffin was too small for her body to make her fit. Her head was removed from her body. She still roams the grounds today seeking vengeance for the cruel act. I mean, wouldn't couldn't you plan for that? Like, isn't there an easier way? Right? Like, okay, we're burying this woman. She's 5.5 feet tall. We need a 5.5 foot coffin. Like,
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, that could just be one of those. Just she was like brutally executed, and like they did something like that,
right?
torture her
That's
soul or
true.
something, you know?
Yeah, that's true. There could be definitely much more. Apparently, that's not even the worst story out of this graveyard. Um, Apparently, there was a in the 19th century there was a man buried alive in this place. Um, I guess there's more than 1,000 graves in here. But many of the graves are not properly marked, and it's very like very disorganized, very like yeah. The thing is with a cemetery that old, it's weird how old cemeteries like that you will rarely find graves from before the 1700s, but they do exist. But they're like sunken into the ground. They're very small. They're like buried. Like it's an interesting phenomenon. Um, as I've looked for many graves from pre-colonial New England for like genealogy and things. So like it's rare to find them first of all, and when you do, they're often they're not marked or they're just like little stubby rocks in the ground. Like you would just think it's a rock, but no, you're actually in a cemetery. So that's really interesting that it's really that bad up there. I guess it's like really haunted there.
Wow. I love the creepy part.
Yeah, apparently, this is from the city of Boston. The city of Boston, actually, I guess it's this 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 is a municipal cemetery and not a church cemetery.
Okay.
Um, it said the site is this is Boston. What is this? Boston.gov. Um, the site is said to be part of Isaac Johnson's estate, an esteemed early settler. In 1668, Royal Governor Andros seized a portion of this property to construct the town's first Anglican church, King's Chapel, which was built in 1688. The earliest graves and tombs were scattered randomly throughout the grounds with no formal pathways. So they really just were like, yeah, here you go.
What?
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the early 19th century, landscaped cemeteries outside cities became the public parks of their times, and efforts were taken to beautifying urban burying grounds. So I guess they. Oh, interesting. Pedestrian footpaths, an ornamental cast iron fence, and various plantings were all installed to enhance visitors' experience in King Chapel burying grounds. Efforts went so far as to rearrange the gravestones in straight rows, frequently not corresponding to the body buried underneath. Tradition holds that the first interment in King Chapel's burying ground was that of the former owner of the property, Isaac Johnson, in 1630. So, like, that's crazy. They just, like, make it all pretty just to appease, get people walking through, but they're not even, like, they're just arranging the headstones all, willy nilly and not even, like, showing any kind of respect to what's beneath it. That's crazy. This is
Yeah.
Boston too. That's Boston, and you got to think this. It also says notables buried here include Massachusetts first governor John Winthrop, William Dawes, Paul Revere's compatriot on his long ride to Lexington in 1775, the Reverend John Cotton, a powerful religious leader in the 17th century Boston, Hezekiah Usher, the colony's first printer and publisher, and Mary Chilton, who many believe was the first woman to step off the Mayflower. So these people aren't just like, I mean, all life has value, but at the same time, like the governor, the governor's grave isn't even being respected here. You know what I mean? Like, fucking hey, that's crazy. Interesting place. I'm gonna have to go there. I'll report back.